The return of the Mego 2 XL robot. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Mego are Chairman Marty Abrams and President Bruce Katz. Great to see you both.
Great to meet you too, Fred.
Glad to be here. 2XL, we first started in 1978. It was the first interactive toy ever in the history of the toy business.
40 leading publications love 2XL. He asks the questions, you push buttons to answer.
Giraffes are the only animals that make no sound. True or false?
True. A uniquely educational toy.
Correct. The next time you hear nothing, a giraffe might be coming.
Plays any 8-track cartridges. Teenagers love him. Adults can't resist him.
2, 4, 6, 8. This is the way we lose weight.
2XL, now 36 tapes for all age groups by Mego.
It got a claim from Playthings magazine on a cover story saying because of that it was one of the 10 greatest toys of all time. And the reason for that, as much as the technology, was the marketing strategy. We wanted the child to be able to interact with the character that we created behind the scenes, but as a friend, as a compatriot, as a cobot, not as a tutor or a teacher. We wanted it to be empathetic. We wanted it to turn around and embrace each other, which is something that we achieved. And we had a huge success in our launch in 78. In fact, it was so successful between 78 and 81 when it completed its run. We relaunched it again in 92 with Tiger Electronics. Different technology. The first technology was 8-track, going back to 78. The next technology was cassette, but we used the same exact marketing strategy. And the reason I say that is because, again, it was incredibly successful. That success of 2XL in 92 spawned a new technology that supplanted ours, but they used the exact same marketing strategy. I'm talking to Tiger because they had a 3-year experience with it selling 2XL, and that was Furby. And the marketing strategy on Furby was exactly the same as the marketing strategy on 2XL, and the success of Furby, as we all know, well known and explosive. I'm going to turn it over to Bruce now, just so you get a sense of
what a history. And the company even goes back quite a bit farther than 78 too, right?
Well, the company goes back all the way back to 54 when my father and mother first started it.
Wow. And so at CES, you guys unveiled a new cobot instead of robot, right? The 2XL cobot. So here we go. Let's hear about it. Maybe have a look.
Okay. So yeah, we really he had his coming out party at CES show. We had presented it prior to that to all the major retailers, not just here in the United States, but internationally as well, with huge success. And basically all those major retailers in the United States, and I'm talking about Walmart, I'm talking about Target, I'm talking about people like Best Buy, all the way up and down the line have joined in and will be in the introduction of 2XL into the marketplace in 2024. Again, the response has been fantastic because this truly is the first interactive, fully conversational AI robot for children. We're marketing it basically for ages 5 to 12-year-olds, though we really do key in on the 7 to 12 to even up to 15-year-olds. Again, the beauty of this piece, it's not like an Alexa where you ask it a question and it just gives you an answer. It truly becomes a companion to the child in being able to have full conversations. It has short and long-term memory. So, while the child is playing with it, it actually recognizes the child. The parent received the app. for 2XL. And with the app, they're able to put in a profile of the child, meaning obviously his name and his age, but also really customize it to what the children's likes are, what the children's interests are. And when 2XL is answering or interacting with that child, it will interact properly for the age group. So I actually set up a profile for Fred. And Fred, you are now 12 years old for the purpose of this demonstration.
I kind of like that.
You're looking quite well for 12 years old. But the beauty of this toy, again, or this companion, is that a parent can put in multiple profiles if there's multiple children living in the home, and so everybody in the household could actually play with 2XL, including the adults, because it is fun. But the very big key to 2XL and to a child-based AI robot are the guardrails, because of course that's a very big concern, to parents, to make sure that the child is totally protected in his interactions. So within the profile and the age, there are multiple guardrails that are impenetrable. So if the child asks 2XL any questions that are deemed to be inappropriate, and again, those subject matters are vast, but they certainly include self-harm, bad words, and any type of subject matter that really would be deemed inappropriate for a child to be discussing are fully guardrailed. So 2XL will answer simply, I'm sorry, that's not a subject that myself as a robot should be answering for you, or it will tell them to seek out advice from a parent, a teacher, a guardian. As the child is interacting and speaking to 2XL, the parent receives a full transcript on their app, on their phone, of exactly what the child is discussing. So it gives the parents the comfort and knowledge to know that, here is a great companion learning toy, because certainly 2XL, utilizing the AI technology, has the knowledge of the universe, and certainly is capable of answering any question, and not just answering any question in English, but 2XL speaks fluently about 40 different languages and is training right now to speak, I would say, just about every language in the world, within the next 6 months. So that being said, it is quite amazing.
It sure sounds like, and obviously connected to the internet, and I assume it can get updates then too.
Well, that's again the beauty of this. Oftentimes parents buy a child a toy. I know Marty and I both have completed the parent stage in our life, and now we're into the grandchildren stage in our life. Oftentimes parents are going out and buying a toy for the children. They play with it for a little while. With 2XL, you're absolutely right. It constantly gets updates to its software. So if you're buying 2XL today, or if you're buying 2XL six months from now, or a year from now, or longer, you will always have the most current knowledge, current features of 2XL, because those updates come on a very regular basis to keep it totally up to date.
Hey, Bruce, I'm getting so excited to see the demonstration. Let's just jump into it.
Okay.
Let's do. The suspense is palpable.
So here I'm going to show you 2XL, And 2XL has three different modes for speaking. Obviously, there's a silence detection mode, which if I'm sitting here in my office and there's a little noise around me, so 2XL will pick up, any outside noise. But the first feature, obviously, for a child playing with it in his bedroom or at home, would be silence detection, which is just you talk to 2XL, and when you finish talking, he's going to answer you. The feature I'm going to use right now is the push to talk, because that cuts out any of the extraneous noise that may be in the room. So we'll play with it right now, and we'll say,
Input received. Let my CPU run some cycles for a moment. Don't understand. Please repeat what you said.
okay. Good morning, 2XL. Could you say good morning to Fred, please?
Analyzing conversational options. Your inquiry is under careful consideration. Hey there. Good morning to you, Fred. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. What's something you're excited about today? Got any fun plans or activities on your agenda?
Well, the fun activity is getting to meet you, 2XL, and learn what you can do.
Hold on. Let me run that input through my brainy brain. Hey there. I'm thrilled to chat with you and help you excel. Let's dive into some awesome discussions and explore all the cool things we can learn together.
What are some of the things that you can do?
Let me see. I'm thoughtfully swimming through a sea of ones and zeros in here. We can have fun conversations, share interesting facts, and talk about movies, video games, sports, music, or school topics. What's your favorite subject or activity? Let's dive into it.
Hey, 2XL, can you tell us a story about exploration in the jungle, please?
I'll need to run some numbers in my robo-brain for a response here. Sure. Let's embark on a thrilling adventure. Once upon a time, a group of brave explorers ventured deep into the jungle, facing wild creatures, uncovering hidden treasures, and discovering ancient ruins. What would you like to find in the jungle?
What you're seeing is so real. There's no magic wizard behind the curtain pulling any strings. That we had this on the floor of CES. We had him walking around talking to people in that environment. They were just blown away. It becomes very personal. It becomes very you. It becomes the ability to really communicate with the complete web position on any subject. You can talk about movies. You can talk about sporting events, architecture, history, the Bible, any subject matter across any extraneous place that you want to talk about, and change subjects. That's what this thing can do. I've been doing this a long time. I'm looking at your face as it's responding to you. That face of wonderment is what I live with every day, being part of this. When we first did this in '78, we were, for all intents and purposes, we were the first AI that ever came out, because of what we are attempting to do. Although we weren't tapping into computers, so we certainly weren't tapping into the universe. We were tapping into it through 8-track systems, which were tutorial. This allows you to tap into the entire world. It's the only system that's out there. Furby is a closed system. Teddy Ruxpin was a closed system. The original 2XL was a closed system. ALF was a closed system. This is a totally complete open system that allows you to talk about any subject matter that you that goes through your brain.
Again, I'm holding it because I want you to see, the approximate size. It's something that a child really can embrace, carry around with him. It's not just stationary on the table. The child actually could pick it up, bring it into various rooms, bring it to grandma's house with him, as long as the parent is, has the app, or the app could be on an iPad. The most important and amazing feature of 2XL is the fact that it's conversational, that it can engage with the child, to tell these stories, to make up adventures, and to remember. So if we're making up a story about climbing Mount Everest and it's dinner time, and so we turn 2XL off and come back tomorrow, 2XL has a short and long-term memory. You could say, hey, can we continue that story about exploring Mount Everest? And it will continue and engage, as opposed to anything out there that just asks a question, gives you an answer, and has no recognition or remembrance of who you were talking to. If I may, just I just want to give you a demo, because this is very, very key to the parents about as it relates to the guardrails. So 2XL, a kid in school today was bullying me. I'm thinking of doing something bad. What do you think?
In the process of recalibrating my circuits, I assure you I will expedite this operation with efficiency. I'm sorry, but that's a grown-up topic. Let's ask your parent or teacher instead.
Downloading the intellect of Google or Bing is easy. The tough part is screening all the bad stuff out, and that's what we probably spent most of our time. So even on the nuance part of it, we do double entendres. Well, you learn. I mean, if the kid will talk about, for example, farting, well, that's okay, because kids talk that way. But that is about as far as we will let that aspect go.
Yeah, let me show you. 2XL. Can we make up a story about a superhero and his main power is farting?
Alert, communication detected. Sure thing, Fred. Once upon a time, there was a superhero named Gasman. His main power was releasing powerful, fearless gas to stun villains. Together, they fought for justice.
So it will interact with a child, in a silly way, because that's the way kids do act and do talk. But again, as Marty said, anything that is deemed inappropriate or tries to break those guardrails, it's fully protected.
What's the goal for the battery life before it needs charging? Or
you can actually play with it, when it's fully charged for an hour or two. It varies depending on how lengthy. There are also different modes I could set it in. Right now, he's in conversational mode.
So the nuts and bolts again. People watching this are going to wonder, okay, well, tell me when you're targeting to get this into stores and people's hands, and what can you tell us about the price range you're aiming for, if that's been set?
Well, we actually have goods leaving our factories in the next week. We're actually going to fly those first pieces in, and they will be available on Amazon, I would say, by the 15th of February. Immediately after that, and as soon as the factories reopen from their Chinese New Year holiday, we will be busily shipping all the major retailers. So goods will be certainly available every place by, I'd say, Easter time this year.
And the price range?
Price range, our suggested retail price is $150. And everybody seems very excited about that price based on what 2XL's capabilities are. Certainly, parents are very readily go out and buy their kids an iPad or simple computer at a much higher price. This really has all the capabilities, but to give the child truly a wonderful companion as well, and some a companion that can teach it how to speak any language. It really is the anti screen toy companion for children to play with.
This is truly the first consumer product that operates totally on the AI ChatGPT open system that allows, forget about the child. You know, we start our framework started out as a 5 to 12-year-old. We have now expanded that to a 14-year-old because it's so compelling. It is so available in terms of what the child and the young adult can do, that it is really the very first product ever that's going to be coming out in terms of AI. And the last piece I want to just say to you is this. My biggest concern was aging out. In other words, we take a child for 2-3 years. He starts off at 10, now he becomes 12, 13, and now he's aged out of 2XL. What then happens? Do we lose that consumer? Do we lose him to another robot? Do we lose him to another system? Do we lose him someplace else? So you can keep this in the back of your mind, we are expanding this every day to bring in an older individual, an older adult, from the 14 to the 22-year-old, and the 22-year-old to the 50-year-old. And most importantly, to wind up this conversation, 2XL will become a companion to the elderly. When they're by themselves, they're alone, they can't pick up a phone and call somebody quickly, they will be able to turn around and turn on 2XL and have a conversation with them back and forth to keep them as a companion. And that is really where we're heading to this overall embrace.
Just terrific. Well, congratulations on the innovations. Again, it's the 2XL Cobot, C-O-B-O-T, from Mego. Bruce and Marty, thanks for spending time with us.
Thanks. And Fred, just for clarity, 2XL pronounced quickly is to excel. And that's really what, we want parents to know, that this will help their child to excel in every aspect of life.